This video is sponsored by Intel. If you want to run the chance to win a Zenbook, I'll leave the requirements for the giveaway on screen. If you haven't watched our latest tech vlog, well, I'm injured, which means I sort of have more time in my hands. I can focus on research a lot more and avoid tackling any fancy projects. So, because I'm either stuck in one place, whether it's the condo or the studio, I told myself the only thing I really need is a proper laptop, and I figured this would be the perfect opportunity to review devices even more thoroughly. So, for the past 2 weeks, I've been coding and working quite a lot on the Asus Zenbook 14 OLED. Note that I've been using the latest G14 as my daily go-to before I got my hands on this one, which I love, but that's a completely different purpose laptop compared to this one. Now, why did I choose this model? Well, from what I remember, the previous iteration of the Zenbook was really popular at my university. It was budget friendly, it's still Windows based, great for students and recent grads. I had recommended it to a lot of people in college and at uni. And even till today, some of those people are still rocking their devices, believe it or not. Now, I think with Intel's recent advancements and their new Intel Core Ultra chip, this now seems to have taken a step forward to pretty much target an even broader user base by heavily focusing on energy efficiency, tangible AI features to work with, and a discrete GPU from Intel. I think the new Asus Zenbook 14 OLED has become an even better value proposition for where it's at. Look, here's what I did. This has been completely set up as a development machine. More than that, I use it to answer emails, plan out videos, watch Netflix, do admin work, edit small segments of clips on DaVinci. Essentially, it's been set up to fulfill a lot of my personal needs these past 2 weeks, and don't worry, like I said, I did update their BIOS to the latest critical BIOS recommended by Asus, which, according to some people online, can yield performance boosts of up to 30%. You see, it turns out that sample review devices got ahead of the huge Intel launch in mid-December, so some of those people had devices with old BIOSes that weren't properly tuned to support Core Ultra to its full potential. Now, I can't really speak for those people because I didn't experience performance prior to this patch, but what I will definitely say is that after using this as my daily, battery life is far better from previous gen. In the past, my biggest issue with these laptops was how ultra low power tasks still managed to eat resources way more than they should have. Like if you left this on your bed, on your couch, on your desk on idle, it felt like the device wasn't smart enough to comprehend how to push these resources into a pool that didn't exert much battery. This year though, they took a step forward and started solving that problem. So now Intel is taking power efficiency a lot more seriously with the addition of AI, especially when it comes to light mainstream tasks such as web browsing. Intel Core Ultra is able to delegate all these low intensive resources to a component in the laptop that takes care of being energy efficient while dealing with such things. And again, I can 100% notice the difference. I think it was like 2 Thursdays ago, I did a full coding marathon later in the evening, and from like 3 p.m. to like 9 p.m. my laptop went from around 80% to 21%. I had YouTube running in the background with Chrome and a few tabs, my coding editor, the terminal with some other apps. It's been solid in that aspect. Now, if you are going to a store to pick up a brand new laptop that's Intel based, I need to clear something out. It can get really confusing. I'm sure you've heard that already. There's a lot of stuff that Intel Core Ultra reveals for consumers like you and I, and Intel Evo Edition is the best of Intel Core Ultra. For starters, Intel Core Ultra is based on an all-new architecture, integrating proper AI and the ability to handle power efficiency. We have the Ultra 5, the Ultra 7, and the Ultra 9. On top of that, for me, one of the biggest stars of this show is Intel Arc. Laptops where their Intel Core Ultra code names finished by H and not U get to benefit from Intel Arc graphics, which is simply a component in your computer that will allow your laptop to push further during graphic intensive tasks. For example, while doing some light gaming, or maybe while coding some machine learning projects like I was doing a few weeks ago on Python. Although now, the neural processing unit can take care of that. The NPU is a little enhancement Intel added to their new laptops in order to make them smarter at performing real-world AI tasks, but efficiently, without consuming too much power. And when I'm talking about real-world, it could be the simplest of things like voice isolation during a call, or maybe more complex things like using generative fill in Adobe Photoshop. I think Intel gave AI practicality when developing new optimizations for AI accelerated apps to make more than 100 AI experiences possible. What I'm trying to get at is that if I was to compare Intel Core Ultra to the refresh of 14th gen, it's important to note that the differences are all within the architecture and the certification Intel Evo Edition provides to one of my all-time favorite laptops, the Zenbook. It's no secret that the Zenbook has been one of the most popular laptops out there. I mean, I remember back in 2018, a couple of my classmates had bought one after I recommended them. I remember those specs being Intel Core i5 Gens with 8GB of RAM, 256GB of storage. It's always been a great bang for your buck. Now the Zenbook has evolved this year, not only because of the Intel Evo certification, but I believe that it's because of its power efficiency, AI, and the Intel Arc graphics. Look, in short, this year Intel demands manufacturers like Asus to go through an extensive process, specifically this time around where they need to ensure specific battery life, noise levels, and even AI capabilities with their new NPU. As the specific number of use cases for AI rises, Intel decided to not only integrate a CPU and GPU into their laptops, but also an NPU to work hand in hand. This enables certain AI applications to be less reliant on CPU performance, so it can deliver a power-efficient way to do certain AI tasks, and for the average users, it really is the simplest of things. Like I said, without you even noticing, AI will run during your conference calls to help you block out background noise. I noticed during calls that it can run hand in hand with your speakers to filter out all sounds except human voices from the laptop speakers. You can also take more advantage of a personal assistant like Windows Copilot to generate, like quick answers, help you dissect PDFs if needed, and even use it within your Microsoft 365 apps. For the more advanced users like devs, I've realized that with the help of DirectML as an API, you can use the NPU and its AI capabilities to code machine learning projects within libraries like YOLO V8. With that, Intel still mandates manufacturers to ensure proper connectivity like fast charging, instant wake, great display quality, at least 8GB of dual channel memory, and a minimum of 256GB PCI Express SSD. All of it within a thin and light design, which is exactly what the Zenbook is. A laptop that comes with an Intel Core Ultra 7 Evo Edition, the 155H to be precise, paired with 16GB of RAM, Intel's Arc GPU, and a full terabyte in storage. If you live in the US, you could opt for the 32GB model if you'd like. So with Intel Core Ultra Evo Edition aiming at also providing to the more premium lifestyle users and creators, Asus finally offered that this year with this laptop, which is wild. The only thing I wish with these super thin Ultrabooks is the ability to upgrade the RAM modules. Usually these are completely soldered into the motherboard as well as the Wi-Fi card, so if you ever need to replace that, keep that in mind. From my own experience, I've found that the I/O is really simple. I think that's the trade-off to be able to achieve this level of thinness, to be honest. Like, yes, it conforms with the Intel Evo certification, but the addition of an SD card slot would have made this laptop even better. Being able to easily video edit on this machine, import photos on Lightroom, use AI features on programs like Photoshop to accomplish certain tasks would have made an SD card slot on this laptop an awesome addition. Other than that, ports are great. I just think the combination of a USB-A and a Thunderbolt 4 port on each side would be better. Like that, while charging, every time I plug in a mouse or my dongle to import footage, the cord wouldn't be too much in the way. Overall, in terms of design, I've been enjoying it. The fact that this is around 15mm thick and weighs under 3 pounds has been a big plus for me. It's an ideal laptop to carry around in my situation, let's put it that way. More often than not, this has seen my bed a lot actually, also the couch, the dinner table, and my desk at the studio. And because everyone who's been with me has been manipulating it, well, it has some fingerprints on this blue lightweight aluminum alloy chassis, and that also includes the inside. Opening this lid will reveal a 14-inch 3K OLED touch panel. absolutely gorgeous, just as good as last year's. When checking out designs, working on code for UIs, watching Netflix, YouTube videos, the colors are always just on point and the blacks stand out. But if I may, the only killer factor is the glossiness of this display. Some people love it, others don't mind it, and people like me learn to live with it. With that, I've found myself using the touchscreen a lot more than I've had with other laptops in the past. I think it's because of my legs, so I try to find comfortable ways to work and consume content in my bed. Like for example, when watching coding tutorials by rotating this panel to its full extent. That, along the glossiness, went hand in hand with the brightness and the refresh rate to create my 2 weeks experience. Even though it's 500 nits, just like the G14, I weirdly find that this delivers a tad more than what 500 nits feels like. This also has the ability to deliver a dynamic refresh rate. I have mine set to dynamic 60Hz or 120Hz. I haven't noticed the display jitter or anything like that when going back and forth between 60 and 120. When tracking elements with my eyes on this display, things appear clearer at high hertz, so motion clarity has been on point, especially when writing text or code, which has primarily been the thing I've been doing the most with this laptop. The keyboard is great. I don't find myself missing any keys while typing. The strokes feel just right and your fingers are not left wanting more. It's not full-sized, which I really don't mind. I mean, none of my keyboards at the moment are full-sized, so I've been pretty much used to that. Arrow keys are small, it's okay, wish they were a bit bigger. However, the trackpad has a really decent size to it. It quite feels a lot better than most laptops out there. I'd like to say it's more supple compared to my G14, and believe it or not, it comes with a hidden numpad. I rarely used it, but it's there for people who really need it. As for the speakers, believe it or not, I've been using them a lot. I try to avoid putting headphones on because if someone calls me, I can't really get to them on time, if you know what I mean. So these have been tested quite a lot for the past 2 weeks. They are great, plenty loud.
Make something happen for sure. I just need to work out a few things. I will have answers tomorrow.
Awesome.
Know you're interested and available during that time period.
For the calls I've had because of AI, these don't seem to output feedback at all. That's one of the awesome things I love about the NPU, is that it really pushes voice isolation to be better and more efficient. The Asus software shows what sort of processing features it can deliver to the webcam and the speakers. Not only that, but the integrated Windows Studio effect that now works with the NPU is great. There's quite a lot of collaboration effects that Windows Studio Effect delivers. I've noticed with these AI features that allows this laptop to track your subjects better, blur the background with ease, and deliver a few other things like I mentioned. I think it's in the little details across your lifestyle that AI comes in and just complements your workflow without you even realizing. These are one of those tangible features where AI comes in and effortlessly incorporates it into my routine regardless of my levels of technical knowledge. With that, I have to be completely honest, more than anything I've been using the laptop unplugged, so in terms of performance, it's all been tested as a true portable device, mainly because when I'm either in bed or in my couch at home, the plugs are either all occupied or way too far. So I wanted a laptop that promised good battery life and a laptop that could sort of be performance independent from its power source, all of it to endure my current lifestyle, to be honest. For the past 2 weeks, my development work, admin work, editing small chunks of footage, answering emails, using Lightroom and so on has been taken care of with absolute no problem. My personal dev work mainly consists of having fun developing web applications. I fire up VS Code with React.js, use Chrome for troubleshooting, a terminal on the side. It's been great. For editing, I use DaVinci Resolve, but if you use Premiere Pro, you can take advantage of scene detection, auto frame, and adding visual effects because of AI. I'm personally trying out some new ASMR unboxing tech content for Tech Talk, and I edited a small timeline together on it. The experience was completely fine as long as I toned down the output resolution, of course. On top of that, I took some of the assets for this video and worked on it using Lightroom on this laptop. My curiosity also wanted to try a few tools like generative fill, photo effects, and intelligent lighting correction in order to test out some of the AI capabilities apps in Adobe can deliver with the help of the NPU. I think knowing I can rely on this laptop for those type of needs was very satisfying. Other than that, I think the only thing I've noticed sometimes while working is thermals. When doing light work like, I don't know, using Excel sheets for the business, it's all good. That's not the problem. The problem is when I deep dive into anything creative or dev related. I haven't seen any thermal throttle per se, but the laptop chassis can get noticeably hot at times. Although given the power within this chassis, it's logical, especially considering there's only a single fan cooling the entire system. When I'm out of juice, simply plugging it with the included 65-watt charger that is as portable as the laptop itself fast charges the laptop in about 2 hours or so from what I've tested. It's been a consistent number for me on this 7 watt-hour battery. The same thing can be said about the FPS when playing some AAA games at low resolutions. Intel Arc supports premium features including DirectX 12 Ultimate, hardware ray tracing, and AI enhanced upscaling with XeSS within games. And that's what Intel Core Ultra along Intel Arc can deliver. Up to 2 times better 3D graphics performance than previous generation processors. All of this to simply say, well, this is what the Zenbook evolution looks like. It is much faster compared to last gens, feels more premium, now has an NPU to deliver better AI capabilities, a much improved battery life, and you can opt for a 32GB of RAM model if you live in the US. Like with anything else, there's still a lot to be seen with this chip. Intel Core Ultra processors deliver enhanced media experiences with support for AV1 encode and decode, as well as support for up to 8K HDR or 4 simultaneous 4K displays. I think Intel definitely stepped it up this year, and a lot of reviews online have clearly demonstrated that. This is my experience with the latest Intel Core Ultra laptop. Don't forget about the giveaway. If you want to run the chance to win a Zenbook, I'll leave it at that. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'm signing out. Take care.